I shared my umbrella with her, and she told everyone I was obsessed. It was pouring rain after class, and I noticed a girl from my psychology lecture standing under the overhang, no umbrella, staring at the downpour like it had personally betrayed her. Her name was Madison, and we'd spoken maybe twice before, both times about assignments. I had a large umbrella, the kind that could easily fit 2 people. I walked over and offered to share it since we were both heading toward the same parking lot anyway. She smiled, said thanks, and we walked together for about 4 minutes. We talked about the professor's boring lectures. We laughed about the upcoming exam. When we reached her car, she thanked me again and drove off. I thought nothing of it. It was just basic human decency. I'd have done the same for anyone standing in the rain. The next day, I walked into the lecture hall and immediately noticed something was off. People were staring at me, whispering. A guy I barely knew smirked and said, "Heard you're down bad, bro." I had no idea what he was talking about. By lunch, I'd pieced together what happened. Madison had posted a story on her private Instagram calling me a creep who'd forced himself into her personal space with an umbrella. She said I'd been staring at her during lectures for weeks. Said I'd probably been waiting for it to rain just to have an excuse to talk to her. Said she felt unsafe and wanted everyone to know I was obsessed with her. Her friends had screenshot the story and shared it everywhere. Within hours, I'd become the campus stalker who used weather as a manipulation tactic. My actual friends texted me confused, asking if it was true. My roommate asked if I needed to talk about something. A girl I'd been casually dating sent me a message saying she didn't think we should see each other anymore. All because I offered to share an umbrella during a rainstorm. I tried to message Madison directly, asking why she'd said those things. She blocked me immediately, then posted another story saying I was now harassing her in her DMs. The situation escalated faster than I could manage. Madison's sorority sisters started a whisper campaign. They told people I'd followed her to her car multiple times, that I'd shown up at her apartment, that I'd sent her anonymous messages. None of it was true, but truth doesn't matter when the narrative is already set. I became radioactive. People I'd known for years started avoiding me. Group projects suddenly had no room for me. Party invitations disappeared. I couldn't prove a negative. How do you prove you weren't staring at someone during lectures? How do you prove you didn't follow someone? The absence of evidence became evidence of how sneaky I was. I went to the campus counseling center because I couldn't sleep. The counselor suggested I might need to transfer schools to escape the social damage. Transfer schools, because I shared an umbrella. My younger sister was the one who finally helped. She went to a different university but had friends who knew Madison's social circle. She started asking questions, digging into why Madison would fabricate such an elaborate lie about a stranger. What she found changed everything. Madison had done this before, twice. At her previous school, she'd accused a guy in her study group of obsessive behavior after he'd asked her to get coffee. He'd dropped out when the harassment from her friends became unbearable. Another guy had been nearly expelled after she claimed he'd been following her until security footage proved he'd never been anywhere near her dorm. Madison had a pattern. She created fictional stalkers for attention, sympathy, and social power. Her friends rallied around her each time, attacking whoever she pointed at, and she got to play the victim while someone else's life burned. My sister compiled everything into a document. Screenshots from the previous victims who were willing to talk. Posts from Madison's old school with eerily similar language. Timestamps proving her claims about me were physically impossible based on my class schedule, and location data from my phone. I shared it all in a single post, tagging people who'd spread Madison's lies about me. I didn't editorialize. I just presented the facts and let people draw their own conclusions. The response was immediate. People who'd ghosted me started reaching out with apologies. Madison's sorority sisters went silent. The girl I'd been dating asked if we could talk. Madison tried to get ahead of it by claiming I'd fabricated everything, that the previous victims were lying too. But the pattern was too clear, too documented, too consistent. She deleted her social media within 48 hours. Her sorority quietly distanced themselves.